Hello everybody, this is Alex Tomaszewska and I want to welcome you to my new show, relatively new show called Way to Grow, held every week at 6 p.m. Central European Time on Mondays. And today is Monday, so let's get on with it. I hope my voice is going to be okay throughout the show. I've had some issues with it today, so let's see how it goes. Right, so the topic that I'm going to be talking about today is hot. It's a hot topic, a lot of people talk about, and also it's one that is really close to my heart. And the topic is on finding your purpose. Finding your purpose. And the reason why it's close to my heart is because it took me a couple years to find my own purpose, and it wasn't easy. And once I found it, the day I found it and the day I made the decision that I'm going to pursue it, to follow it, my life changed. I transformed inside, and then I kept going. Like, my life is changing every day ever since I found my purpose. So it's a very deep experience, and that's why I want to talk about it. So first of all, the first thing that I want to do is bust a couple myths that are surrounding this topic. The first one is that you need to find your life purpose now. Like, okay, so here's the deal. If I went out in the street, or you went out in the street and asked people if they know what their life purpose is, or if you asked your friends, they would probably just open their mouth and say, no, right? So the thing is, people don't know it. And if somebody asks you that question, if you're the kind of an over-analyzing type, then probably you would start thinking, oh my God, if they're asking me, then it must mean, life's purpose. Yeah, that sounds important. Yeah, I should know my life's purpose, And then you start analyzing it and start trying to figure out what your life purpose is. And if you come to a conclusion that you don't know what that is, that causes a feeling of being guilty and not good enough, basically. So you don't want to go in that direction. And what I want to tell you is that it's okay if you don't know your life's purpose. A lot of people go through life without realizing it, and they are happy. It's absolutely fine. Now, feeling guilty for not knowing it right now, not realizing it, will not get you any closer to finding it. If it was easy, everybody would know their life purpose and they would follow it. So it's not easy, and it's okay if you don't know it right now. Maybe, with time, a point in time will come when you feel this urge inside you that you really need to find out what your life purpose is, that something is not right for you right now, and you want to find your purpose. That's when you need to start looking. Otherwise, if you're feeling fine without it, just go. Just go ahead with your life, Deal with other issues, not this one. So that's the first myth. And then the second one is that once you find your life's purpose, you need to do all these life changes, all these transformations. You need to quit your job. You need to start your business, do God knows what. You need to, move to a different city, etc. And it's so big and scary and can be overwhelming. Well, the thing is that some people will realize that what they are doing is so far from their purpose that they may want to do these changes. But that's not always the case. In fact, you can find purpose like inside you, and you can find the purpose in the things that you do in your job. So really, it may be closer than you think. Maybe you just never looked at it in a certain way, at your life, at your job, etc. Maybe you already know it. So it doesn't have to imply a big life change, And to prove it, at the end of this live, I will be telling you a couple stories that prove that you can find life purpose in any job. If you're a bus driver or taxi driver, a maid, you don't have to be like a doctor, which we think is a job with a purpose, right? You don't have to be saving lives every day. You don't have to be a veterinarian. You don't have to be a teacher. You can find your purpose in any job, okay? This is for everybody. Right. Having said that, what is this purpose? It's called purpose, or it's called your why. What is your why? I don't know, maybe you've been hearing this question a lot lately and you've been wondering about it. Well, the purpose is this internal force that is pushing us towards doing things. The force that you cannot really do anything about. And I say internal, and by that I mean it's deeply, deeply rooted in you. And it comes from the heart, and it comes from the soul. The thing is, it doesn't come from the head. It doesn't come from your command center, which I talk about so much. It doesn't come from here. It doesn't come from, oh, you need to do this, you have to do that, etc. No. Once you feel it, once you connect to this internal force, internal power actually, because it gives you power, you get motivated to do things, to do your job, and a lot of the problems that we're facing as human beings, like procrastination and lack of motivation, actually vanish once you find your purpose. So it's awesome if you find your purpose, because it makes your life easier, basically. That's it. It makes your life easier. It makes decisions easier. It makes you save a lot of time, which you stop wasting on doing things that don't actually benefit you or your close ones in any way. It makes you stop wasting money on things that don't actually fulfill your needs. So it's absolutely awesome. And the thing is, everybody here in this world has a purpose. Now, most people go around without knowing what their purpose is. But we all do have a purpose. And the thing is, if we all knew the purpose and lived accordingly to the purpose, the world would not be as chaotic as it is today. It's not a very nice place to be in, right? The world currently. So if everybody was living their purpose, the situation would look quite differently. Right. So, well, if this is the plan, like the big plan, if there is a plan, right, for everybody to live with their purpose, why don't we all live according to our purpose? Why do we even not know the purpose, right? Why is it so hard? Hey, Miranda, thanks. Why is it so hard to find what your purpose is? Well, anything that's worth anything, means anything, is going to be hard in life. Otherwise, it wouldn't mean a lot. So, that's a given. But then, what happens with us? Let me explain to you why a lot of us cannot even see the purpose. So through life, as kids, there's expectations towards us. The society, our parents have expectations. And as we grow up, our partners have expectations. And then we get a job and our boss has expectations. And we have all these different experiences that show us really life is not easy. And then a lot of people, like you wouldn't imagine how many people, I guess, when you ask them, why are you staying in your current job? They would tell you it's because of the money. Because the money is good, because the money pays the bills, because I have to feed my family, and etc. Because I want to go to for holidays twice a year, because I have a mortgage, because I have car payments, and blah 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 blah. Right? A lot of things are connected with money. See, the thing with money is that it is only a tool, but most of us don't see it as a tool. Most of us, without giving it deeper thought, we see it as the goal. Like, if I have a lot of money, then I will be able to start living my life, or I will be feeling secure, and so on, etc. Right? But money is just a tool, and it can only buy as much. The thing is that we get so used to using this tool and to having this tool to fulfill our needs, usually small needs, like I call them tactical needs, not strategic needs, the ones that we feel at a given point in time, and maybe not the ones that are bigger, we use this tool every day. We use it. And then we start using it as an excuse. So the money, the house, the cars, the vacation, everything that we buy with the money, which in the beginning is the stuff that we want, right? So if you want a raise, if you want a new job, you're happy for the first couple months that you got this raise, that you got this bigger amount of money, and it's fantastic. But after a while, these things actually, they start working as this ball and chain, and then chain us to where we are. And we become so, well, I don't want to say addicted. It's not addiction. We become attached to the money and what it gives us, and to our mortgage, etc. So attached that we become very much disattached from what we actually, who we actually are inside. We don't see that anymore because, frankly, sometimes we don't want to see it because we are just further and further and further away from who we are by just following the path of earning money, of having a job, or having a mortgage, of buying the car, of sending the kids to school, etc., like the normal path. And throughout life, sorry, I need to have a sip. Through life, we go down that path, and possibly at some subconscious level, we realize that it's not our purpose. By the way, when you're a kid, when you think about who you want to be in the future, it's often this kind of a job with a purpose. Did you notice that? Like, you want to be a veterinarian, you want to be a policeman, a firefighter, etc. But then somewhere in life, these ideas like vanish, and we focus on different things, on things that will bring us money. And that's how we go through life. And we start creating these virtual walls, I call them, inside our minds, which tell us, okay, I could live life with a purpose, but it wouldn't be as comfortable as it is. Or maybe it's just not for me. I have what I have, and I'm fine here, which fine is not good, fine is just fine. There's a movie called Everybody's Fine, which actually greatly shows that when you say you're fine, you're not actually fine. And you make up all these excuses. I'm sorry for the usage of this word, but because we use them a lot in our lives and we use them subconsciously. But we make excuses why we didn't pursue, and we're not pursuing our life purpose to this point, right? And if we just tore down those virtual walls, we would see that the life of purpose is not that far away. It can be actually much closer than we think it is. Okay, I think that's it on this part of the life. Now, the next thing that I want to tell you, since we're on how close it is that in fact, your life's purpose doesn't have to be far away from what you're doing. Like I said in the beginning, sometimes you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to start a business. If you want to, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's also fine. You can just find the purpose inside of you and see how it's connected to what you're doing. And oftentimes you will find it, because businesses and companies are made usually to help somebody. I mean, they have to help somebody solve some kind of a problem, right? Otherwise, it would not be a good business. And you can feel the connection with what your business is doing and what kind of a service they're providing. For example, right? You may actually see, you know what? I thought I took this job for the money and because that's what the society expects, but really there's something more to this job to me, and I didn't even see it. So it can be just like that. Now, I forgot to say one thing beforehand. There's a group of people for whom finding their life's purpose actually makes their life way, way easier. And as we are talking about businesses, these are, for example, home-based business owners who don't have a boss, usually don't have deadlines, and sometimes it's easy for them to get demotivated. Now, when they set up their business according to their life purpose, they feel this internal force that pushes them towards doing things. And that's how they stay motivated. So in that case, when you're creating a business, it's very important that it's in according to your purpose, because it will make your life so much easier. Like, my purpose is to help others find their purpose, and that's my way of making the world a little bit of a kinder place, and it's absolutely amazing. This is my business, right? But everybody has a different purpose, and I will get to my stories very soon now, so that all of us do not pursue the same path, right? But businesses are made to help people or other businesses. Take that into consideration. Maybe you will find something there in your current job. Now, to the stories. I have 2 stories for you to show you that life's purpose, that your purpose can be found in anything, your why can be found in anything. The first story is about a cleaning crew from a hospital in the US. I don't remember the name of the hospital, but they made a survey among them, because they seemed very much motivated to do their job. And it turned out they think of what they're doing as a job with a purpose. The purpose of cleaning the hospital is that the patients feel better, that the patients feel like they have dignity and respect and self-esteem. I mean, how would you feel if you were in a dirty hospital? It would make you feel even more miserable, right? So actually, when you think about it, it's so important to keep the hospital clean. And since I read that story, I always take a look at places like even outside of my building. Who cleans here every day? It is amazing. So that's one way of looking at the job. See, you can find a purpose in anything. And that crew, because they were motivated, I don't know who selected that crew, but they must have been a genius. Because they were motivated, it kept them going and kept them improving their systems, reaching out for better detergents, etc. And when you're motivated, it shows in your work. When you have a passion for it, it shows in your work. Be it at work, if you're working for somebody, or if you are a business owner, it all shows. And the next story will tell you just about that. So the next story is from my own experience. Is about my colleague who came to me. You know, I am an IT engineer, and I used to be a programmer and then a manager for many years. And I was working at this company which sells medicine, produces medicine, mostly for cancer. And it was many years ago. My colleague came to me, and he was a programmer by then. I don't remember what position I was in, but he came to me and offered that we make a short movie, a clip, showing how he sees his work, how his work is connected to the end result. Well, I'll tell you about it in a second. The thing about it is that both of us, we were doing, and a lot of other people in that department, we were doing the kind of work that really is not spectacular at all. Like not even applications, not something that, you know, the end user can touch, like you have your, I don't know, iTunes, whatever. No, nothing that the people can see and touch and come to you and pat you on the back and say, hey, good job with the new app that you created. No, it wasn't even close to that. So no visibility basically, and it can be hard to stay motivated when you work like that, because nobody actually. Sometimes you could think like, who cares if I'm even here, right? But then my colleague's approach was completely different, and he came to me with this offer to make a movie because he saw through my work that I was seeing it the same way that he was seeing, because it shows. And he said he wanted to make a movie where the connection between how he, for example, or some other programmer, if they're creating in an application, for example, like a check mark, a checkbox, when you get your upgrade of the application, sometimes the interface changes. He would make this small change in the interface, very, very, very tiny. And then the movie would show how the person that uses that application actually becomes more productive at work, more effective at work, and they are happy, and then that influences another person, and that influences another person, or maybe another system, and so it goes until it gets to the patient with cancer who is using our drugs, and our drugs prolong his life, and it makes him and his family very, very happy. Now, this is the way that my colleague was seeing his everyday work, back and work. It's pretty amazing. And you have two options. You can either see your work as meaningless, or you can find the meaning in it. And for him, the meaning was very, very deep. He took the job at the company because he knew it would somehow be saving lives. Absolutely incredible. Right, that's it for tonight. What I want to tell you is finding your life purpose is not easy. And if you have been struggling with it for a while and you'd like some guidance, I have a system, I have my own framework for finding your purpose, and then getting the courage to actually follow your dream, whatever that is. If you want to find out about it, if you want my help doing that, reach out to me directly. Bye guys, have a great evening.